Hey, what's up, guys? Just out of wash, so that's one in my PJs instead of my day clothes. So yeah, that's why I'm looking a little bit different. I'm doing a motivate video this evening. However, I'm not running the HSTs for this evening. I'm running other diesels and mainly the full steam engines I have. Focus a little bit of a different type of train video for this evening. So if you guys are interested in seeing those, I'm going to bring them out tonight. So I'm going to bring out the shunter, my old toy shunter, which might need a tidy off before I get it moving, because it does look rather filthy. Although she is just a toy, and I did paint her up. You will see that in a minute. I did paint this one up, just for a bit of fun, really. She was only like £20, so I'm not really too bothered about that. I did do some work on the Class 25. It's a livery you might not recognise, so you can see it. But it's in almost like a BR brush green. I know people might say, well, you just put a different colour with the Batman Class 25. Well, I had that one for a long time, and the livery on it was getting on, so to speak, and yeah, it's about time I should have done something with it. Now I got a very older diesel from Batman I had for quite a few years, really. I got the Batman Class 47 in Coal Sector. I think it's Coal Sector. It could be Rail Freight. I'm looking at. And we're also going to go to Freightwise today. The class, hopefully figure out the Class 58 by Halgem. I know a lot of people say things about the Class 58, so one of the good ones from Halgem. Well, yeah, they have their up points, I guess, but trouble is with the most modern Halgem models now, they are not as good. What a lot of people have been saying about them. However, I think it's catch-22. I think when it comes to the Batman diesel and Halgem diesel sets, whether like Class 14 Teddy, which is a diesel, but just shunter, so it's not like a big full-size diesel. It's just a shunter, bigger version of just a normal tank, like a diesel tank. I can't remember what they're called. Are they shunters? Is it just nickname of shunters because they're basically what they were started off with. Sort of diesel mechanical shunters. Just fell down, but something did. I don't know what it was. Just bogey out of the way. Where's the electrical wire for this one? Right. And you also got the Class 57 by Batman. So you can imagine I own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Batman model diesel sets, and another 2 which is Halgem. At least my passionate ones are the diesel hybrid sets from the 1970s. And how many steam trains are running today? Well, we're going to start off with the steam engines and go off with the diesels. That's my plan, but again, won't be with the 43s. These will be with the 66, the 57, the 47, the 33, the Class 06 in the in Virgin liveries, Halgem Class 33, then the 58, and then 25, and then we've got the AC Electric, which is the Class 87 by Hornby. Now, I haven't bought much Hornby stuff in the way electric in quite some years, actually. I know some people really like the Hornby electric sets, and the only electric train ever caught my eye, ever, for any company, I think was going to be 87. Mainly because of the way it looks, and it's got an interesting history to it as well. So I'm going to bring my steam engines out tonight as well. What's going to happen with the... Am I going to see the rail tour on Thursday? The one's going to Plymouth. It's going to Plymouth from Cheltenham and Spa down to... it was going to thingy, I can't remember the name of the place. It's typical. Let's draw over. Right, bottle. Okay. So yeah, we're just going to start off with the steam and then work our way through the diesels this evening. Not the 43s, mind you. No 43s in today's video. They're going to be steam, and we'll work our way through to the freight area stuff, which some people might like. But so if you're interested in the freight trains, then keep your eyes peeled because they're going to be coming out this evening. And for the first train we're going to start off with will be the little pug, or I don't know what else name they give them, like a prairie. It's not a prairie, is it? Prairies are the they almost look like these sets, I think. I think they look more like this. The GWR Pannier. Yes, that's the Batman model, but it was the cheaper one. It's the older one. It's not the modern one. Got that £65. A couple of years ago, but I haven't bought one since. What's my most favourite steam locomotive? This is another thing I would say about this particular train, is because it's a tiny little locomotive, let it go through. Let me just spin it back around. So running back through. This is the downside about this particular locomotive. I know some people like them. I can see the reason why the tanks can be popular, especially these little subtle tanks, I like to call them. I know they're not really subtle tanks, but they look like the smaller version of one. But I can't remember what their actual name are. I have to be honest, I don't know much about steam engines really. But, you know, I was never connected with steam engines the same way as the 43s, because for most passenger trains have always been the class 43s, but I did have some love for certain steam trains, I guess. To be honest, there are certain steam trains I like. I like the tank locomotive, which is up there, needs a wire repaired, and I will probably keep that once I get it sorted. I also do like the Pannier. I do also like the Flying Scotsman. I also like Flying Mallard. I do like Flying Mallard, that's not really a thing. The A4 Mallard. I like a couple of steam engines, but mainly I do like my HSTs. They're my most passionate train. And to be honest with you, that's where my dedicated, this now will become dedicated to the HSTs. The British ones, not the international ones like South Africa or parts of Spain or Germany area, when they had their own versions of it. But yeah, I imagine at the time they did have some unusual sets running on the line. So we're going to run these, and then we'll switch the battery over shortly because it's about to go to red. Okay, we're back. I did tell you we might need a new battery in. But anyway, we're now here with the new battery put in. So we've got the pug running around. So I know it's not the most exciting thing to see, but before we take her off completely for this running session this evening, we're going to put one carriage on her. I know it sounds a bit weird to pull just one carriage. She could pull, because she's a 0F steam locomotive, and in real life they could put up to about four coaches on level straight track. So she could pull a reasonable amount without being over the top. But she's more designed for shunting. She was a light shunting locomotive. She wasn't really designed to pull a heavy load of train. What's the livery on the carriages, or these carriages? They're Virgin. I painted up myself. They're not the best. I haven't done the best job on them, I will be honest. They're not the best. I could have done much better. But I've done that quite some time ago. So what we'll do, we'll get a couple of shots with her carriage, and then we'll go on to the pannier. I know some people like the panniers, so... And they're not bad steam trains, I have to be honest, they're not bad steam trains. The tanks are really good, as I said before, but my number one will always be the HSTs. I mean, always. So, my love spot for the HST has always been my big favourite train to go to. And my entire Heritage Railway, my model railway, the HST Heritage Railway is what it's going to be called. It's going to have some resemblance of the main line to it. However, it is going to be HST Heritage Railway, so there won't be much different trains from the HSTs. There will be cross country in this lot, East Coast, Grand Central, East Midlands, First Great Western, First Got Rail, and there will be quite a few other liveries as well. We're including some of the old ones we haven't got yet. So Virgin, In-City Swallow, Midland Pullman, all of those. Oh yeah, let's take that carriage off. I just took the pug off, and we're now going towards the pannier. There she goes. Here comes the pannier. What do I think of the pannier? Well, she's not a regular runner in my layout. However, she still attracts attention for a lot of people, and I don't mind the panniers. I think they're quirky. Just the way they look. They look like a speedy train. Steam train, that is. I mean, in real life, these panniers, they had the top speed about 65 miles an hour in real life. I know on the Bodmin Rented Railway, they do have one, but it's being worked on. I've seen it in the shed, which is down near Bodmin Parkway station, actually. They have a couple of their locos parked in the shed over there. And obviously, I'm guessing they've been working on that one at the moment, so they can try to get it working for the summer. But yeah, it would be nice to see the pannier out again, because I haven't seen that one out in a while. It'd be quite nice to see the pannier to have a change to the tank. I know the BR Black tank locomotive is fond by quite a few people. I'm going to have to go over there, aren't I? Right, okay. So, before I go and sort them out, I am going to go back to having the non-blue steam train. I'm going to take all this blue off. I'm going to damp it down and get all the blue livery off. Because I was just having a bit of fun with it during the winter to get it painted up in a different colour, just to see what it looks like really. And over that time, this locomotive it's now got a very messy paintwork on it, which I'd done myself. And again, I did this on a cheap locomotive, so it wasn't really the end of the world if I did mess up. At least that way I can, try again. But yeah, it's not ideal if you're doing it onto a very expensive locomotive. If you're doing it to a very expensive locomotive, then yes, it's probably worth not doing that. But if you're doing it to a cheap one, you'll have to have a bit of a messy fun with it. It's not going to harm anyone, is it, to have a bit of trial with your models. As long as it's not too expensive locomotive. I mean, I wouldn't dare to do these to my passionate trains. Not in the million years I would never do it to the Class 43s. I mean, they had their own particular liveries for a reason, so that's the reason why I do not change them. Because my layout is going to be dedicated to them. There will be the odd one out on my dream now. Let's do the fake ones. Is she a regular runner? On the bottom for the Pania, at the moment, no. She's not a regular runner on the railway as yet, because as I know what I can see of it so far, is that the Bodmin and Rented Railway, as known, they're working on them, on the Pania and a dealer at the back. I think it's Class 03, but I'm 100% sure on it, to be fair. So I can't quote you what they're doing to it at the moment before they can bring it out, but what I do know of it, it's not likely to be running until at the latest September. So I think September is most likely to run them, but have I got any more plans to go on the railway themselves soon? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping to go one on either this Friday or maybe Thursday, I'm not sure. But I will go on one on possibly Friday. Again, it depends. Here comes the Pania. We'll get a couple of steps on this direction for you as well. Let's get our coach on before we move on to the next steam engine, which you can smell the engine in this one because it's an older engine. I'm not going to put on it too much because obviously it's an old, what do they call them, the old locomotive, the old powered locomotive ones. The same steam locomotives I will probably keep as a display, even though I wouldn't have it on the dream now, but it's possibly might get featured in one or two videos in the future. Well, not in the future, but I mean the videos on the way, basically leading up to the last video, or the last video in total for a quick YouTube altogether, which is not too far away really. That's going to be a big video, and I'm hoping it will turn out to be a good video for lots of reasons. I really hope, because I think it's worth celebrating my leaving on the 24th December of this year. Will be the way we celebrated by unboxing from the chat and then running some trains and doing a few other bits and pieces on the railway. Right. Yeah. She's got an old electric motor in there. Actually, you can see top of the contacts of the motor. I mean, these are the old Bachmann, really old motors. They're not like the modern motors that you would get in the modern generation of trains. We'll go for the Battle of Britain last before we change over to the diesels. We're going to go to the cheap train now. Cheap. Cheap. Cheap as you can get for a steam locomotive, really. It's 20 quid. See that whining? Yeah. You wouldn't get on a more expensive locomotive, but she is a I don't know if she was either going backwards or frontwards. I need to take off. Does she move, this one? Yes, she does. I mean, yeah, she does take a little bit of fidgeting around to get her moving. However, once she gets going, she's not so bad, but she is just a fidgety thing to put on, and then once she gets her on the track, she can get moving. I'm just trying to find her moving. And this is the other problem, she does stall on the curve. I mean, I've got her about medium speed on the controller to keep her molding, but I'm going to put the speed up at least a little bit to keep her moving, because I think that will benefit her at least a bit. We won't need to do that with the diesels, but at least with this one, we might well do. How long is this video going to be? Not too much longer. Come on. As I said, she's not a regular runner, but she does run because she's not a easy runner, if that makes sense. She's not a daily runner. She runs when she feels like it. And the trouble is, you have to be quite persistent with this particular one, because she's an ex-Triumph motor. She's not a Hornby motor, although Hornby did take over Triumph. But yeah, this is actually a Triumph locomotive from, well, quite a long time ago. And the downside to this particular locomotive is that it's cheap, and it has faulty wheels at the front and the back. So anytime it goes around a corner, one of these joins in the wheel can fly off. And it's just dead. I'm connected again now. How long for, I don't know. This is the thing about this cheap train. It's almost a toy-like train. It's not for the hard-fierce modelers. And that's the other problem. It's an ex-Triumph motor, and it's got an M3 motor in it, which means it had to burn out. Which is also another thing to consideration if you want a model like this. I don't think we're going to be running much of her tonight. Okay, we'll swing over to the Battle of Britain next then, before we burn her motor out entirely. It took me close to a year to get this working as well as it has, but she's still not working any close to 100%, so okay, last steam engine now is going to go on, and we'll end it off with the diesels and not the 43s. I slowed it down for this one. When did I get this steam train? Oh, I got it about 2018. It could have been 2017 actually, when we last went to close to London. So quite a while ago. She is in okay order. I wouldn't say she's in immaculate condition, but I would say she's in okay order. And what's the reason she keeps derating? Well, mainly because she hasn't got loads of pickups on the linkage. She's only got one linkage on one side and then two on the other. So it makes it very uneven, the power levels with the train. If she had both from both sides, she wouldn't have the same problem. But, yeah. Rather than that, she's not too bad a looking train. Bus is in contact, the livery is in contact, and, you know, there are certain aspects to it is in a perfect order. As I say, you know, you can't connect anything to her directly because you need to put a coupling in at the back. And this is the it's the unbuilt version of the rebuild. Is close to like the one I saw over April. I think it could have been April, but that was the rebuilt Battle of Britain class. The unbuilt version one, which has still got the original reflectors and the body shell on there. You can still see her. Actually, you can still see her in parts on some heritage railways. You can still see her in original colours. I picked this one up originally because it does look old-fashioned, looks unusual, and, you know, locomotives can do quite a lot for you. I mean, in real life, these could carry about, I don't know, 7 or 8 coaches, top speed of just over 95 miles an hour. And they were put in service roughly about the 1930s to about 1960s, I think. And then it got taken over by the diesels. A lot of things got taken over by the diesels by that time. So, I guess we might have to keep this one short as well, which is a shame, but the track is not really suitable for the steam locomotives on it. It's more suited for the 43s, and it will change once I've pinned the track down and I've got scenery, hillsides and all stuff going on once I've got that connected to it. Right, next train then. Let's work on the way to the diesels. And our first one up for the diesels is, oh gosh, this could be fun, the Class 06. A little toy, what got me into lobby in the first place. This little toy got me into lobby those years ago. Now she's moving, and she sounds very rough, and she's just around. She is a light locomotive. She is very light, very fast too. I got it for 20 quid off eBay a few years ago, and even though she was 20 quid, she was pretty smooth when I first got her. However, every time since I had her, this train has seen a lot of different challenges. I mean, I did a challenge for this. If you want to check this weight challenge I did, was it not last year, but the year before? I did a couple of years ago. I did a challenge with this train. It went through water, and yeah. If you want to know more about that, go and watch the video. I'm not going to film much of this train because it'll just keep derailing around on that straight piece of track, which is a bit weird. So I'm going to do one more lap with her, and we'll just go on to the bigger diesels. Okay. She gets rather fast in one direction, slower in the other. Her contacts are rather old, and she's rather old, so that's why I'm not going to push it. So, we're going to go on to the 47, I think. Again, bear in mind this one's really old too, and it's not in the best condition. It's been really battered, and heavily used over the time. So the front end is going to have the better conditioned buffers, and the back one's going to have very dodgy buffers. I'm going to power level at least a bit so she can go a little faster. So yeah, she doesn't run particularly smoothly, and she does tend to derail. You can tell she was built to last, 47s. And is the 47s pretty good from Batman? Yes. Well, certainly they have been in the past. They are built to be tough, and they can be hard wearing to run on mainline trains quite a lot, and I've seen a couple of them already this year. Putting the rail train, not the rail train, just the rail tour train. And I was behind one a couple of years ago with the Bodmin Invented Railway video I did it in 2022. I was behind one. So I haven't really been on Heritage Railway since then. Not much of them anyway. What's it like if you put it the other way around? Bear in mind these are Batman models, and Batman models are known to build to last. And that's the downside to this locomotive. She does derail quite easily at points. So, the next one we're going to fiddle with is this Class 25 by Batman again. The first ever Class 25 I owned was this one. She still has working rear lights on this particular model on one side. And I'm going to keep these shorts for this evening. I'll keep these short because I've got a lot of trains still to go through. And I'll do 2 laps with her, and then we'll go on to the 58 next. But I will keep it shorter out through the whole of the video because it's now 8:15 and the battery's getting low again. Let me switch that off. So I would like to spend a longer time getting this video done and spend more time just let them run freely. But tonight we're just going to let them all run for a short period of time before we end the video. So this is the Haldon Class 58 EWS livery. She's got working lights, rear and directional, and she also has a very thin cab light in the train. You can't see it at this time of day, but it's very thin when it's on. But hear that rumble from it. Isn't it sounding nice? It reminds me of like the cold start of a Class 43. It does, it sounds a bit like that. I mean, I know the 58s are not hybrids, they are full diesels. But back then, you know, diesel were a new thing. They weren't really, looking into hybrids at that point in time. It wasn't until John Wesley came along and designed that one with the HSCs. So, yeah, there's been a lot of points of very integrated companies and people to different perspectives on the railway. How fast the 50 can go in real life? I think that's a good question. I think in real life they actually had it known to have a top speed of about 85 miles an hour, but they rarely ever got to that speed because of the heavy rates of state they called at the time. putting out coal mines and oil mines and things like that. So they didn't really have the opportunity to go fast in maybe 70 miles an hour. But, you know, that's what it was like during the 70s/80s. But obviously that was before my time anyway, so, you know, you had the options to see freight. Oops. You had the option to see freight or passenger trains, and during the 1970s, for the early parts of it, the HSTs weren't around. It wasn't until 1975 they started appearing. So, you know, before that time you had steam engines, or the last of the steam engines, and you had some of the old DMUs, like the Class 105s and the 108s. And yeah, parts of the she's a nice train, Class 87. Yeah, she's not a bad train. She runs pretty smoothly, and most of the time she doesn't cause any issues at all. It's just, you know, the odd moment, which we had earlier. I'm taking her off because we're going down to the last, didn't mean to do that. At the last 3 locomotives. I know some people are like, what? Last 3 locomotives. For this one, the Howden Class 33 by Howden. How many Howden models do I own exactly? Just the 2, the 58 and the 33. So, yes, I don't own many Howden models, only own the 2. Would I get any more Howden models in the future? Not really. There's only one really grabs my eye for Howden. What was it? The Kestrel? The Howden Kestrel? They're quite interesting trains. Is it a Dutch? I think it's a Dutch company operated the Kestrel. Did we see that repair? So once you come around again, we'll round off with the Class 66, but we've got 57 25. Yeah. I wish I had more time, but I don't this evening to go through them all. And we're going down to our last 2. So the next one up, and then we'll get to the final one, which will be the Class 66 in DB cargo livery. So the next one we're going to pull out is the Class 57 by Batman in GWR green, or military green. Oh, it's navy green, isn't it? It's navy green. What do I recommend of the Class 57 compared to the Batman Class 47? What can I say about it? Well, yeah, the 57's alright. They are basically re-engined, remodeled Class 47, essentially. They have the same engine as the Class 47, just retuned and retorqued, and that's all they are. They're basically re-engined and remodeled Class 47s. They're just the different headlight codes on them and different design patterns on the wheels. One more lap of that, and we'll get to the 66. So, the final train for the evening, this running particular running session, is the Batman Class 66. Oopsie. Do that. Come here, Class 66. You can afford a single carriage. Right, here we go. She does not have a coupling on the back of her. Right, okay. Let me put a coupling on there if I want to pull anything. Right, at the moment she does not have her tail lights on. Do I need them on? Don't decide if I need to or not. I suppose it depends if I want to put anything to this evening. Let's put the rear lights on for the moment. They were off, now I'm going to switch them on. Driver, so that way was the engine at the back, basically the exhaust at the back, and the vents were at the front, that's where the driver is. And then I'll move those ones on, we're good to go. Do that, and then move it. I'm just going to get that wiggled around here. Seems to be disconnected from the train line. Right, okay. I might end it off with the class 390 as well. Okay, yeah, the class 6 needs a flat level track, which I don't have at the moment, which is why she's not moving very much at all. But she is a nice train. She's the closest, well, the nearest model I had so far is from 2023, and those are the 43 sets. I don't have any freight trains or new from this year yet. However, that could change later this year. Let's do a quick run with the class, the very old Virgin Catalina with the Helston livery on it. Let's do that and then we'll end it off. Why not? Didn't have a full train. Yeah, she's not going to go. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this interesting video of steam and the diesel sets and the odd electric. I couldn't entice the Virgin train to move, but seeing the 87 was interested. Get that connected. Yeah, she's not going to go. Alright, I will do it then. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on both notifications. And I'm going to be doing a special video on possibly Thursday, and maybe on Friday. I might do an unboxing of this new train if I do get it, if I do order it and whatnot. But until then, have a great evening, guys, and until next time, have a great evening. I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.